Sorry if I butchered your last name. I totally...
Prasad.
Prasad.
Yeah.
My eyes are just like,
Thanks for doing this for me.
Of course.
Testing. Cool. So, hi, I'm Rohan. Leon and I are the type of people that like to say yes to new things. When I was in 5th grade, my school offered Mandarin as a foreign language, and I said yes.
When I was 19, my landlord asked me over email if I would buy some Apple Music gift cards for his niece's upcoming birthday. He just wanted me to send him pictures of the barcodes. He'd pay me back afterwards. I was super excited. My landlord never emails me. He did not pay me back.
So Leon and I were friends for many years in college, and then when we graduated, I was like, Leon, do you want to teach English abroad with me in China?
I said yes. And then I went home to my parents and they said no. Little background, my parents, my mom's in the back. Taiwanese immigrants, very pro-Taiwanese independence, not huge on the China thing. So I come back and I'm like, Rohan, how about Taiwan instead? I mean, they speak Mandarin there too.
And I said yes, why not? We'll take anything, right? So we got jobs in Taiwan, we lined up our visas, we flew over, we started teaching.
Yeah, and it's like for me, my main goal in being in Taiwan is to explore the country that my parents grew up in. You know, like ever since we were young, like my parents would tell my brother and me, like, you're Taiwanese, not Chinese. Taiwanese, not Chinese. And I was like, until the time I was 14, that was the way I'd introduce myself. Like, my name is Leon, I'm Taiwanese, not Chinese.
And I wanted to move to Taiwan. I study Mandarin. I really wanted to become like one with Taiwanese society, you know, talk to the local people, learn the language, make local friends, just turn into a Taiwanese person.
So it's our 10th day in the country, and I get a text out of the blue. It's from, let's say, like a distant friend of my mom's. The text reads, hey, I hear you're in the country. How would you like to come up north for a 2-day, all expenses paid luxury bus tour? So I'm like, Rohan, what do you think?
So I like to say yes to new things, but this time I was a little more discerning. I said, Leon, are we gonna meet local Taiwanese people?
Yes.
Leon, are we gonna practice Mandarin with these local Taiwanese people?
Oh yeah.
And are we gonna see more of this beautiful island?
Yes.
So I said yes. We got on the train, we packed our bags, got on the train, and went 6 hours north to the city where Leon's family friend was staying. And when we got to the train station, our host was there, and she was very welcoming, and she said, oh, hello, welcome. But she started talking to us, but she was really only talking to Leon, and Leon alone.
So I should say at this point, my Mandarin is not very good. I'm not fluent, terrible grammar, a really shitty American accent. And so I feel very self-conscious of this fact. And I'm just like trying to say as little as possible. A lot of And I'm desperately trying to rope Rohan into this conversation so that I can talk less.
Yeah, and I'm trying to talk. This is a local Taiwanese person who speaks Mandarin. I'm trying to jump into the conversation, but she is only looking at Leon and not talking to me. And she's even asking Leon questions about me. She's like, oh, like, why is his skin so dark? And did he really go to UC Berkeley? And what were his grades like at school?
Yeah. Rohan, not a fan of this woman.
No. But she was our host, so we had to be gracious. So we stayed at her apartment that night, and then the next morning we woke up really early for this famous all expenses paid bus tour.
So the bus tour starts like this, all right? We're at the pickup spot. There's 2 buses. We're gonna split up. Our host is on bus 1, and we're on bus 2, so we're not gonna be seeing her.
Yeah, and I said good riddance. I did not want to see this woman. Yes, oh yeah, so we got on the bus. For context, Leon and I at this time are about like 22 years old. And you know, we want to meet any Taiwanese person, but particularly like people our age would be great. But this bus was full of like retired 60, 70, 80-year-old Taiwanese aunties and uncles, who are not normally like very gentle, calm, warm people. But by 9 a.m., they are piss drunk. And the entire bus is smelling of Taiwan pijiu, Taiwanese beer.
And there's like, this is all happening to a backdrop of like Taiwanese classic tunes. Like imagine My Heart Will Go On, but in Taiwanese, basically. And I mean, the bus is set up for that. It's got TV mini screens, handheld mics every 3 rows. And there's a binder with like every Taiwanese song ever with like, and the serial number that matches. So like even before the bus has started moving, all of these aunties and uncles are rushing to the front. They're queuing their number. Yeah. They're ready for it.
Yeah. The one good thing about this bus ride was that we did meet someone our age. His name is Polo. He was also a young person. He had studied in America for a little bit, so he spoke some English. He spoke Mandarin, so we were talking, and I was stoked because finally my local Taiwanese friend, at long last, day 10 in Taiwan, so early.
So Rohan and I, we get on the bus, we head straight for the back. We want to be pretty low key, and that doesn't work because everyone is turning heads. They're looking at the back, at us, and specifically at Rohan, and they start throwing out this phrase a lot, 外国朋友, which means foreign friend.
Yeah, so they're pointing at me. They're telling me like, "Oh, 你很高, you're so tall. 你很帅, you're so handsome."
They're reaching out and touching his hair. They're not asking for permission, of course.
Yeah. And then this Polo's mom is there, and she's really interested in me. She like sits next to me, and she's like taking a photo with her phone, taking a selfie.
And then there's these 2 guys in the middle of the bus having the loudest conversation ever. And one of them points straight at Rohan and really loudly in Mandarin exclaims, "Oh yeah, their people, they're really good at basketball."
Yeah, so then it hits me. They think I'm black. Of course, they've been touching my hair. They think I'm tall and good at basketball. And I don't mind. I mean, they've been living on this island for 60 years. They've probably never seen a black person. They maybe don't know that India exists as a country. It's understandable.
So Rohan's the center of all this attention, all the commotion, and this goes on for 4 hours.
And then we get to a rest stop, and I'm relieved, physically and emotionally, because it's kind of tough being, a celebrity on a bus. I don't know if you've ever done it, but I'm really enjoying this chance to like take a break from all the sensory overload that's going on.
Okay, now the bathroom at the rest stop. First off, let's talk about the smells, okay? Stench is like that mix of urine, which you expect, and then like alcoholic uncle breath, like all mixed together. And then no urinals, just a continuous trough, so it all mixes together. And no strict guidelines about spacing. You stand here, wherever, you do you.
So I enjoy my peas. I get up there, avoiding the urine on the floor, and I'm doing my business. And then I hear what sounds like Taiwanese, which is the local dialect in Taiwan. And I do not speak Taiwanese, but I hear 2 people talking in Taiwanese behind me.
The exchange between the 2 people goes like this. Is it true what they say?
No.
I don't know. I'll take a look when I get up there. Kwabe, dear, I can't get a good look.
So Leon translates this exchange as we get back on the bus, and I'm kind of taking it all in. There's like some romantic Taiwanese karaoke music on this bus. People are drunk. They think I'm black. They're assessing the size of my trunk. Again, Taiwanese people are very gentle, kind, warm people, but this is really quite an extraordinary day.
So at this point, we're back on the bus. Me, Rohan, our friend Polo, we're just hanging out in the back. And at some point, Polo's mom starts coming down the aisle. She's not just walking, she's sort of like strutting, swaying to the music. And she comes right up to Rohan and like looks him in the eye and says, "Hey, handsome, do you want a banana?"
So Leon and I are the type of people that like to say yes to new things. I look at this banana, I look at Polo's mom, And I see this offering of acceptance and belonging and a welcoming gesture into Taiwanese society. And it's only day 10. And so I think, oh, how could I say no to this offer of friendship? I take the banana. Thank you.
You're welcome.
And then Polo's mom takes out, are you saying this part?
And then Polo's mom takes out her banana and she starts to peel it. But she's peeling it very thoughtfully. Not too casually.
Yeah. So I'm watching her, and I'm watching her put this banana into her mouth very slowly. Not taking a bite. Not biting into it. And it goes deeper and deeper into her mouth. And she's not gagging at all. And let's remember that Polo, her son, is sitting right here on the bus. And she's making direct eye contact with me. And then she starts doing this weird like rotational motion with her teeth as she pulls the banana out of her mouth. And out comes the banana. It's a penis. And not just any penis. It's immaculate. Like Michelangelo made a sculpture of a penis and put it on a banana. It's like she's done this thousands of times before.
So I'm sitting 2 seats away. Haven't said a word. I've been silent basically this whole trip. As I told you, I'm really self-conscious about my Mandarin and the fact that I didn't grow up here, and I'm using that as a reason to just say nothing. Because the minute I open my mouth, I know people they're gonna know that I didn't grow up here, and they're gonna treat me as an outsider. And we're seeing how outsiders get treated in Taiwan. But then, I'm sitting 2 seats away. I see this woman performing oral sex on a banana. And, this scene is like straight out of a Borat movie. And I'm like, I need to say something. The bus, finally the bus stops. I get off, I find the family friend, and I'm like, listen, Rohan and we're gonna cut the trip short.
Thank you. This was not the first or last time I felt objectified or othered in Taiwan. When I was walking around the town I lived in, a lot of the kids would shout, 外国人, like foreigner over there. And a lot of the normal Taiwanese shopkeepers would be like, oh, you say you're American, but I read the textbooks and you don't look like an American. What's going on here? Very confused. But I also learned that Taiwanese people are really warm and kind. A lot of people, they'd repair my bike and not charge me for it. They'd be giving us fruit randomly, even though we've just met someone. And always the first one to pick up the check and really patient with my language learning. And I really felt warmth and hospitality when I lived there. And I think I learned to kind of take the good and leave the bad or the sexual harassment.
So believe it or not, even after that whole banana thing, Polo and I stayed in touch for quite a few months.
Yeah. And I ended up living in Taiwan for 2 years.
And Rohan and we had a lot of crazy adventures in that time, but one thing we took away was maybe we should think twice before we say yes to things. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Keep it going for Leon and Rohan.